The following presentation is brought to you by the Pride of ODU, the official NIL collective of Old Dominion Athletics. Be a monarchist. Join the Pride.
You want to start fast. You're not always going to be able to do that, right? Something may happen and a situation may happen. So it can't be, hey, if we don't start fast, then, it's going to be a struggle. I think it's still, I think it continues just to point to the importance of practicing hard, preparing well, making sure, one of our areas of improvement that I wanted to see this week was what I call staying off lists, right? Like, not being late for class or making sure we get all our assignments done and get our objective sheets signed out and making sure we're doing all that. And we did that this week. And I thought the guys were really focused on that and we stayed off lists. And then, we went out there and executed better. So.
It seems like every week now we can talk about how well Colton's played.
Mm-hmm.
Just your thoughts on his performance today. Just another game where he spread the ball around and did damage with his arm and his legs.
I think what he continues to do, and I think he's going to – there's some things where, he could have done a couple things better, but, overall he's playing really, really well. And what he's doing excellent right now is he's just letting the game come to him. He's not trying to force things. The ball's going where the ball should go. And when he's doing that, we're really hard to defend. And I think that's, the thing that he's doing a really nice job of.
Is this the most complete team we've had in all three phases? And why?
Well, it's the deepest team we've had, so I think it's the most complete team we've had. So we're not focused on just getting the ball to one guy. We're not focused on, we have multiple pass rushers. We have multiple guys in the secondary who can make plays. We have multiple linebackers who can make tackles. We have multiple guys who get tackles on special teams. We have multiple guys who can run the ball. We have multiple guys who can catch the ball and make explosive plays. So I think that's the reason why we're playing right now is our depth.
On the fake punt, the team's very well executed well. Did you have an idea that might be coming or?
Yeah. Didn't really change anything though. I did have an idea that might be coming. A couple of the guys, it was weird. A couple of the guys gave me credit because I kind of said it, but didn't change anything. We still called what we were going to call. The difference is the one thing that's weird about a fake punt is it can look really good on paper sometimes, but you're asking people who don't block offensive plays to block an offensive play against people who are charging up the field. And so they had a decent look there, but you're going to make our guys were just faster and more aggressive than they were on that play. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't fault the call by them or anything like that. It's those fake punts are sometimes hard to execute, or else we as coaches would call them all the time. Right? I think that's one of the funniest things. It's people they always want you to call trick plays till you do. And then they're like, that shouldn't call that play. It's all right, sweet. But everybody, that play is the greatest call in football if it works, and when it doesn't, it's not.
On the jump pass that went for 80, maybe I'm wrong, but normally it seems like that's a kind of a goal line situation. Is that normally done? That isn't the field?
We've done it a few times. I think Pat Conroy caught one of those last year against Bowling Green, and then he caught another one on that. I think we've called it I think we called it a couple other times. So yeah, his play was open. I thought it was a really good play call. I thought it was really good design by the offensive coaches. Tremendous execution by Colton, the offensive line. Really, who kept the guys off, and then also obviously Bull, who caught it, and then he didn't outthink himself. He just ran straight, and that's sometimes as a runner you can kind of panic, and you're out in that much space, you can kind of panic.
We saw a lot of big plays from two freshmen, Jackson Forrest and Hunter Malecki tonight. Can you talk about those two guys and maybe their progression and some of the other freshmen?
Yeah, Jackson is the epitome of somebody who loves to play the game of football, and I think he's running around and playing really, really well. Complimenting what some of our other guys are doing there. Obviously, Coach Seiler does a tremendous job at developing people. I mean, that's just, he's done it over and over and over again. And Malecki, should have got a sack, last week. And would have if Trinidad didn't get there sooner. So it was really great to see him get one, and then he played really well in another one. So he's a guy who's been playing well, and I was happy to see him do that because he's a tremendously hard worker. And that was awesome to see him.
Staying off of lists, your team's probably or could be on some lists. At least get some consideration for some votes on some lists coming up. How do you handle that with your team? I know we'll talk Monday, and maybe that will have happened by then. But what do you tell them in advance of maybe that happening?
I mean, if we end up getting that, it's the same people who said that we were going to stink. So whatever. If I didn't, I mean, it's fine. I'm not trying to be coy. Like I can't. I have a hard time saying, okay, well now their opinions are valuable because they think we're good. I mean, I can't have it both ways. So you guys know me well enough that like my opinions aren't going to change that much on that sort of stuff. I mean, I think that we need to keep playing well because it feels good for us to play well. The outside, it can't be about external recognition. It's got to be about playing well in here.
40, the biggest point differential in an FBS win, biggest yard differential in an FBS win. I mean, when you hear those things and see those things, I mean, what do you think?
I think we played well. I mean, I think we have really good players and tremendous coaches and an administration that supports us. And I mean, I think that it takes a lot of people to be able to put together a performance like that, and I think it shows what Old Dominion can accomplish when everybody's pulling in the same direction.
Going back to a couple of questions on sacks. The last couple of years, there's been chatter about the defense not creating enough pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, they are. This season, can you point to anything in particular, or things just kind of coming together?
I think Coach Vic is a tremendous football coach. I think Coach Seiler gets guys in great spots. I think our secondary coaches have done a really good job of taking away the first and second read of people and making them get to a second read. And we've defended the run well in order to put them in positions where they have to pass and times they don't want to pass against us. And I think all those things go together to cause for pressure.
I know that you're not a big fan of the word momentum.
Yeah, not at all.
But, you guys have won 4 in a row now. Is there anything to string these together? I mean, with the 1-0 mentality, can stringing these together still lift you guys a little bit?
Hope not. I mean that in all seriousness. I mean, I want us to continue to focus on what we're doing to make us get to this point. If we start looking at other things and start to look at and say, okay, well now it's momentum taking over and things like that. Well, what were we doing before? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, we've got to make sure that we're maintaining an understanding that what got us here is what got us here, and it's got to continue to get us there.
But it doesn't help. You don't believe it helps with buy-in or any. I mean, your guys are bought in, obviously, but I mean, is it when they can see the process working on a consistent basis? I mean, it has to play out pretty well.
No, I think our players have faith in us as coaches, faith in the program, faith in each other. That I believe more in faith than I do momentum.
What's the difference between a 4-1 locker room and a 1-4 locker room?
What's the difference?
What are you seeing in this locker room that would have been different from a team that was 1-4, like attitude and everything?
I don't know if it's necessarily. What you see is you just have more guys that understand what it takes to win each football game and to win each play. That's what you have. You have more of those people. And so I think that's the difference right now is we just have a lot of those guys who understand. They know it's hard. I'm not saying that they necessarily like it all the time, but they understand that the sacrifice is going to be worth it, and they understand that regardless of the outcome of that play, of that game, of that moment, that the sacrifice was still necessary in order for us to play our best. And I think that kind of belief and faith is the thing that's important.
Ricky, I was watching the wives and the kids and all the relatives in the inside. I don't think I've seen that much joy here many since I saw it.
Yeah, no, my wife yelled at me after the game, which good for her because she should have. When you get in those games like that, you want to play so well in the second half that like you, for whatever reason, as a coach, you start to get frustrated and whatever. And she was like, "Hey, like, no, we're gonna enjoy this right now." Like, yeah, and I was enjoying it, but I was also thinking about, oh, I wish, we would have executed here and there and all that sort of stuff. She's like, no, we're not going down that path. Like, you know what I mean? So, that's why you marry up, and you marry somebody who's, smarter than you, better looking than you, has better emotional intelligence than you, and all the above. So, good thing that's one of the things that's helpful. So,
Anything else for Coach?
I would like to say those are some sweet shoes. I could not pull those off, but you want to talk about some Monarch? Those are pretty sweet right there. Yeah, man, those are awesome.
You could have wore these last week trying to find a way home and have flooded.
I was
You don't
no. You don't. Come on, man. I know Larchmont well enough. I know where to go.
Good way to end it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Hey, Jerome Carter, career high 12 tackles. Na'eem Abdul-Rahim Gladding, career high everything. Joseph, career high 5.
Career high everything.
We'll open it up for questions. Mark, you want to start us off?
A little pressure. All right. Na'eem, kind of probably the most complete game we've seen you guys play from, at least while the starters were in. What's it like out there for a player just when everything's clicking like that and, 3 touchdowns for you and you put together a career night, Colt's firing away, Jerome's making tackles everywhere. And what's that like for you guys on the sideline?
It just makes the game that much more fun and exciting, especially because we know the type of preparation and work that we put in, especially in the off season and in practice week to week. So it's just a great feeling knowing that we're firing all cylinders and the work that we're putting in is paying off.
Jerome, in a game like this, when it's, a big margin, does the fact that you still have a shutout, going so long, does that weigh in your mind, like provide some extra motivation?
Yeah, we try to keep the shutout, because it'll make us feel good. But at the end of the day, we still got to be there for our team, our teammates, just doing our same, just playing defense.
Colton coach said, I asked him about the possibility of being ranked or something like that. He said he doesn't care. You agree with that? I mean, you guys follow that? Do you even care one way or the other?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. We're just worried on conference championship and our next opponent, really.
Literally.
Colton, what's led to your consistency? Coach praises you every week. You seem to up your game every week. What do you think's led to your consistency?
I think just more maturity from last year. Just staying within the rules of my offense, staying within what I can do, and just being more prepared and just balling out, really.
This was the biggest win over with the most points over an FBS team. Biggest yardage differential over an FBS team. For all three of you guys, when you hear how it was dominating win against an FBS opponent in ODU history, essentially, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
It's really the expectation now. Like, our floor is set so high, especially coming off a few good wins and whatnot. We understand the potential that we have in this team, just as a whole, offense, defense, even special teams. So the floor is set really high. We just got to go out there and execute every day. We don't take nothing for granted.
Yeah, just like Na'eem said, we practice hard. It just don't come out of the dark. So we know what we do in practice. We know how we work. We know what type of team we got.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've just been firing on all cylinders lately, and that really comes down to our preparation and our team as a whole and how we hold each other accountable and how the leaders lead, and everyone just kind of comes together and we do our job. We play well.
I might want to follow up when you saying that that's the expectation now. Is there anything in practice this week that led you guys to believe that a performance like this might be coming?
Nah. Every week we take every day we take every day with a grain of salt. You know, every day we go out there, we step on that field. Can't take it for granted. It's our hardest day of work every single time we touch the field. So it's the expectation, like I said. So whenever we come out the field, we know that it's a blessing to even be on the field. So with that, go out there and play our heart out.
Jerome, is that the most tackles you've had in the game?
Yes, it is. Yep.
So what's going through your mind when you're flying around like that, getting all those tackles?
That's how I practice. That's how Coach Sala want all us to play. We all hunt as a pride, like I've been saying in previous interviews. Just everybody was doing their job and letting me being able to get a career high today.
Does this season feel different so far? And if so, how?
Just the commitment that everybody has to the team. Everybody knows the expectation, like we just keep bringing up, keep constantly harping on, but everybody's bought in. Everybody got the same goals, so everybody just wants to win. Everybody wants to succeed, so we're going out there playing our hearts out because we're playing for the man next to each other instead of playing for ourselves.
Exactly. I think our confidence is just, higher because of all the work we've been putting in and, all the trust we have and the trust we built over the off season. And that kind of just really helps us to play as a team.
Just for anybody who has any thoughts on this, you guys have played a ton of close games the last couple of years. How different is this to have some breathing on, and like on a regular basis too?
I think last year we wasn't as locked in last year, like towards this point of the season. I think just a lot of stuff in the locker room that y'all don't see. Y'all don't see our brotherhood and stuff. So, like Na'eem said, we play for each other this year.
Na'eem, how's it feel to have a game like tonight in front of the home crowd?
It's a great feeling, but obviously I can't do that without my O-line and my quarterback. So at the same time, it's just what happens when execution ends up playing out. Obviously I love the game that I had, but at the same time I know what's ahead, and it is what it is. It just happened by the grace of God, luckily, but at the same time I'm not too satisfied. We always got more goals in mind.
Colton, is it easier to execute when you've got a 3 touchdown lead versus a 3-point lead?
Yeah, our defense been balling out, especially Rome over here. So when they're doing their thing and getting the ball back, it definitely helps our offense, just keep moving and playing our game.
With each win, there's going to be more national attention. You're already, if you look at the ESPN power rankings, going into this game, you're already the highest ranked team in the Sun Belt. I think 54th in the country out of like 150 FBS teams, however many it is. You guys embrace the national attention that comes with being a good football team.
Honestly, not to sound too broad or blunt, we don't care about the attention. We're just going out there playing football for our guys, just going out there and doing for the man next to each other, going out there doing the expectation that's set for us every day in practice. So the attention that comes with it is great and all, but at the same time, that attention does nothing for us when we go out there on that field.
Yeah,
100%.
just like he said, that attention good and all, but we know what we want to do. We know we want a championship. Paying attention to stuff like that not gonna help us get the championship.
As a podcast for fans by fans, you guys have a message from Monarch Nation.
We love you.
Marks by 90.
Yeah.
Roll Narcs.
Anything else for these guys?
Colton, blood on your pants. Where'd that come from?
Just a little scrape on the hand.
Being a dog.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
The difference between last week and this week with the crowd, obviously with the rain, there weren't many people there. Tonight was jam-packed. What's it like playing in front of a packed house like that?
Man, we love it.
To get the fans what they want to see.
Love
Exactly.
the energy. Yeah,
Love it.
100%.
We need you guys. We love them
Every week.
every
Come on.
week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Yes, sir.